Hello Stalkers, Merry Crisis and a Happy New Emission. Hopefully last year the zone was kind to you, giving you many opportunities and reasons to keep going. To celebrate 1 year, well technically 8 months, I have decided to rank all the mods I've reviewed so far. And with each year there will be more and more mods added to the list until it looks like a gamma mod list. And a quick word on the Stalker 2 video. I've completed the game, I've gotten 2 endings. Expect the video sometime in January, most likely, hopefully. Now, let's return to the beginning. True Stalker. As everyone knows, that was my first video. It was kind of bad, but it was a start. True Stalker was probably my favorite mod this year, simply because of how high quality it is. AP Pro are absolutely top tier developers and even their new mod called New Project. They really worked hard on the name. Anyway, it looks fucking amazing and I can't wait to play it because it simply looks very promising. Everything in True Stalker was simply great. The visuals, the guns, the story, and I really enjoyed my time from start to finish. I did not review much of the story in my video and I will probably revisit the mod in the future, so if you haven't played it, you absolutely should. Even if it was more linear than most Stalker mods, it was very epic and the only thing I can complain about could be the lack of A-life. But considering it's story focused mod, you won't be noticing it except if you don't go out of your way to do so. I'm completely convinced that these guys are a part of some kind of GSE intern program, so that's the rating. Next is Stalker Apocalypse. God, this mod was madness. Half of it was shooting swarms of headhunters and the other half was figuring out what the fuck to do with the quests. The original version is a bit on the shitty side when it comes to translation, and as funny as that is, an empty quest log is not very good for progression, so I made my own. Especially that my game bugged after I collected the 6 million rubles to pay for 6 guns that won't tap everything, and that took several real life days. And then I was just stuck without any proper hard save and I just couldn't progress. And the times where the game worked, it tried its best to fuck over the player. The story was a bit on the messy side, but overall, I think I just need to revisit this mod in the future. I'm not satisfied with the review. I definitely need to see it work properly to know for sure what to tell you, but unfortunately, I had the least amount of fun with this mod. Even if it's a classic for some, I will leave it in the Slavjank tier, but it could change in the future. Secret Trails 2. This one was very interesting. Everything about the mod screamed old school, especially the fact that it didn't run at all. So I played the modernized OGSR version, and honestly it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed how smooth it was and how good it looked, and how brutal mag dumping a bloodsucker was. I think this is another must play mod, especially if you want something more unique. You can definitely tell that it was Polish people that were involved in the development. Unfortunately, a lot of side quests had broken descriptions and I couldn't complete them, but considering it's a sub mod, you will have a shit ton of content to go through even then. I hope enough awareness was brought to the mod and someone fixed the translation by now, and rebalanced the ending fight, but I really doubt it. I'll definitely rank the mod as a Pripyat Ghetto classic. Lost Alpha, an absolute classic. So classic even Boris played it back in the day. It's been 8 fucking years. I think this is easily the second best mod I played this year. It didn't have the quality or polish of True Stalker, but it was incredibly atmospheric and had a shit ton of interesting things for me to see. If the mod wasn't crashing every 7 seconds. And it was crashing so hard I had to start restarting my computer and abuse the escape key, hoping it forced everything off. Considering that I'm a sucker for these old school restoration style mods, it was only natural for me to enjoy it. I think many people have already played it, but if you're new to Stalker, drop gamma instantly! No! Fucking drop it! Leave it where it belongs! Go play Lost Alpha! Or Oblivion Lost. Embrace the true nature of Slavjank. Even if people consider Oblivion Lost Remake to be the better restoration mod, and I can't wait to get to play it, I believe that Lost Alpha was an incredibly fun alternative retelling of the story from Shadow of Chornobyl. And yeah, I get it, the story can be a bit fanficky, but that doesn't mean the journey wasn't unique in its own way, especially the driving. This is why I love these mods, man, so many, and they're all so different from each other. Yet another Pripyat Ghetto classic. Wind of Time. Oh man, where do I begin with Wind of Time? It's a mod that definitely used the trickery of the zone to its maximum. A great story mod, held back only by its common out-of-memory crashes. There are plenty of side quests as well, but most of your time will be spent progressing through the story, which is not a bad thing. The mod is relatively bloat-free and it didn't feel like there were any boring parts that dragged on. I've mentioned that it is more like Call of Chernobyl, with a story and less locations, and it kind of is that, and it's doing well at what it was supposed to be. It even looks like Call of Chernobyl, so if you're looking for a nostalgia trip to the good old days of free-play mods, but with a story attached to it, that might be the one for you. Obviously deserves a Pripyat Ghetto classic rating. Reborn. Since the day I was born, my life has been leading up to this moment. All the years and fears I've gone through have been nothing but a test, a trial to test me, to see if I have what it takes to handle the absolute indescribable amounts of autism that have went into the development of Reborn. There are no words that can simply describe the experience of playing Reborn. You don't just play it, you live it. You become one with it, and my fucking god, Will you be questioning reality once it's done with you? This mod is... What the fuck is this? I don't think that there is any way to put it anywhere but on the very top. This is peak modding, and it's a trilogy. You know what's coming. Global War. Global War was an absolute challenge to get through. A 30-faction free-play warfare mode. Some of them with questionable quality and reasons to exist in the zone, but it was fun. Even if most of it is just shooting stalkers in the zone over an empty field in the grasslands, you can't say it doesn't live up to the name. You'll be fighting across the zone and many new locations. From a Limansk train station to the old Rostock factory, to the prototype of the Brain Scorcher, to your mind, to the abyss itself, to Serbian people's minds, and it just doesn't end. The global war only ends with you. I can only recommend for people to try this mod. I think this was the best way to experience the Warfare game mode. And it gets better if you turn off your HUD and play on Iron Man mode. Really brings out that hardcore experience. I think a mod like this would be amazing for Stalker 2. Since the map is huge and well, the zone is your canvas, and alcohol will be your paint. It's just a matter of time before it happens. Same as the Stalker 2 remake in X-Ray by some 13-year-old Romanian kid that can't afford the full game. Global War is definitely a Pripyat ghetto classic, mainly held back by its stability and the lack of quality for some of the factions. Stalker Priboi. Stalker Priboi was probably the most mid mod I played this year, but can you really blame it? It was made in 2008 and is one of the first, if not the first full conversion mod for Stalker. You can feel its age when you play it, but that was the best part as well. Old school mods for this game just bring you back to a different time, and compared to any of the modern more refined mods, of course that it's not gonna do that well. But compared to vanilla, it does not strive too far away from the formula, and just adds a unique spin on the game and more excuses to just mess around in the zone and share that to funny people on the internet. And oh my god, it has vehicles! I fucking love the driving in Priboi. It was pretty stupid, it was very messy, and it easily carried the mod forward. Pretty junky, and it barely deserves such a spot, but I'll put it here. So, that would be my ranking for this year. Thank you for sticking around through the entire journey. Hopefully this yapping session made you regret finding out about this channel. It's incredible to me just how many people enjoyed my absolute clusterfuck creations that my degrading mental state produced, and all I can really say is thank you. As you know, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's kind of hard to believe. Can you imagine a room with 1,000 people in it? Now imagine a room with 1,000 breads. Yeah, that's a lot. Feel free to recommend me any mods you want me to review in the comments, and I'll put them into the massive list in the description. Next up is Stalker 2, and after it Vector of Alienation. I would like to thank my supporters, Marcin and my girlfriend, for supporting me on Patreon, and soon enough everyone will be able to support me by just watching the videos. If YouTube decides to pay me for the ads it's playing on my videos already. Seriously, they played 4 ads in 5 minutes, man. I've missed out on like 3 breads with potato and onion from Lidl. I will now fuck off to celebrate Crackmas with my family in the garbage. So thank you, and good hunting, Stalkers.